What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our Week 8 power rankings in the NFL. All that and much more coming your way right now. All right, before we get into today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video as it will help us out tremendously. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. All right, Nick, Week 7 is in the books, and we had a lot going on this weekend, a lot of big-time matchups, and they have led to a big reshuffling in our power rankings. So, Nick, why don't you get us started? Teams 25 through 32, who do we have here?
Yeah, I want to start off by taking a look at Team 28, the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers, who have been one of the worst teams in the NFL so far this season, so bad that we saw Matt Rule get fired in just the 5th week of the season. Now we see the Carolina Panthers under Steve Wilks. Some of the biggest pieces that they have are being pulled apart. We already saw Christian McCaffrey go to the 49ers. Rumors about DJ Moore, Brian Burns, Shaq Thompson all leaving the team before the November 1st trade deadline. But when they face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of the most feared teams and definitely the most feared quarterback in NFL history, Tom Brady, they came up big in this one. The defense really showed up for the Carolina Panthers and really stopped that Buccaneers offense from doing anything. This team really has a fire underneath them now. There is a bad aura around this team, and they are here to correct that. They are playing with a lot of pride right now, something we see a lot when there are interim coaches, and I think this is something that is very surprising, but a glimmer of hope for the Carolina Panthers moving forward, and that's why they've seen such a big boost right here. I also want to take a Team 26, the Washington Commanders. Now, the Commanders had a big challenge in front of them. They lost their quarterback, Carson Wentz, and now they see Taylor Heinicke back under center. Taylor Heinicke was the guy who brought them to the playoffs just a couple of years ago, and they wanted to see if he could do it again. Well, taking on the Packers is not an easy feat. That defense is strong, and Aaron Rodgers is the back-to-back reigning MVP. That is no easy challenge, but they showed up in this one, really taking it to them and not giving up. Taylor Heinicke started off poor, but then found his groove, really working with these guys. Terry McLaurin had one fantastic day that really helped this team out, and they looked fantastic, and it'll be interesting to see what they can do with Heinicke under center moving forward.
Yeah, definitely Heinicke showing out for this team. And another team that you just talked about, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, sitting here at 21. We have to talk about this team because they look absolutely atrocious. What they have been able to do, or what they haven't been able to do, is move the football on offense. And you talked about the most feared quarterback in NFL history. Tom Brady is not the same guy for some reason. I don't know if it's the divorce that he's going through. I don't know if it's the fact that he's not practicing on Wednesdays with his team anymore. Maybe it's the fact that Rob Gronkowski isn't a part of this team. It doesn't matter because this offense is just flailing at best. Mike Evans is wide open for a touchdown and Tom Brady just absolutely misses him. They are not on the same page on this offense. Leonard Fournette is not the same guy. He is not running like a Super Bowl champion. He's running like a guy who doesn't want to be a part of this offense anymore. They have a lot to get through this week, and honestly, seeing them at 21, it is a big wake-up call for this Buccaneers team. The defense is poor, the offense is poor. They need to turn around everything, and it's all on the shoulders of Todd Bowles right now. Another team I want to talk about here, team number 18. Nick, you talked about the Panthers looking at players going away. Well, Christian McCaffrey got traded from the Panthers to the San Francisco 49ers. We saw him a little bit on Sunday, and honestly, he looked really good in that uniform, was limited in what he could do, but when he was out there, he was a major decoy, and he had some really good totes with the football. I think that he's going to be a special player with the San Francisco 49ers, just like he was with the Panthers, but even more so in Kyle Shanahan's defense. We all know that Christian McCaffrey's father, Ed McCaffrey, played for Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan's father, in Denver. So this is kind of a reunion for these guys, but nonetheless, I'm really liking what I see from the San Francisco 49ers. I know they got blown out by the Kansas City Chiefs, but this is just a small hiccup in what we are expecting to be a very, very positive season for this team.
Now moving over to teams 9 through 16, I want to take a look at the 14 team here, the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks took on the Los Angeles Chargers, and they are a big, scary team, or at least they are on paper, because when the Seattle Seahawks took them on in their home stadium, the Seattle Seahawks absolutely took over, and the Chargers could not do anything on either side of the ball. Justin Herbert could not get that ball past the defensive line, getting it batted down 4 or 5 times. Keenan Allen made his return, but really was not even a part of the game script. Mike Williams couldn't do much, and Austin Eckler tried his best, but at the end of the day, it was not enough. The Seattle Seahawks are a strong team all around. The offense under Geno Smith is thriving. It seems like he really knows where his guys are going to be at all times. Kenneth Walker is really stepping up in the absence of Rashad Penny, and with that 170-yard performance in just his second start is an absolute scary thing for opposing teams moving forward, because there is a lot of firepower that the Seattle Seahawks are operating with on the offensive side of the ball, and on the defensive side, they continue to flurry. Those young studs continue to be impressive and really step up against some big competition. So I really like what the Seahawks are doing right now, and they are probably the best team in the NFC West as it stands. Also, I want to take a look at the 11th team, the New York Jets. Now, the New York Jets are a 5-2 team as it stands, but they've got to be one of the worst 5-2 teams I've ever seen in my life, because Zach Wilson has been a winning quarterback, but when you look at the stats, he's not doing anything. We saw 110 yards against the Steelers last week. We saw 121 yards against the Denver Broncos this week. He is not able to move the ball whatsoever, and with Breece Hall now out of the picture, Zach Wilson has a lot more pressure on himself to get the ball out and work through the passing game, something he has struggled with so far, and he's got a couple big tests right in front of him, the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills right after that. That is really going to test the New York Jets passing ability, and I think it's going to be very apparent just where the Jets stand after those games. The defense is holding strong, but they've got some tough competition ahead of them, and I don't know if they'll be able to keep it up with the offense letting them down on a consistent basis.
Yeah, Nick, we talked about contenders or pretenders for the New York Giants. Well, I don't have to ask the question. The New York Jets are definitely pretenders, but taking a look at our next team at number 8, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, and they are contenders. This is a team that can absolutely go off at any point in time. I know it's been a slow start to the season, but watching Joe Burrow absolutely light up the Falcons defense was something to watch. This guy just absolutely torched them, dotted them up left and right. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, all of them were in the mix. We saw Joe Mixon getting the rock and really toting it well. This offensive line was holding up against some really tough pressure, and I really like what I saw from this team. They have started to get over the hump, and now they are rolling on all cylinders. They look like the Cincinnati Bengals of old, and I expect this team to continue with that momentum moving forward. The other team I want to talk about here is the number 4 team, the New York Giants. As I mentioned already, we asked last week whether they were contenders or pretenders. Well, they are contenders, and they have shown that it doesn't have to look pretty, but they will win football games. And that's what this NFL is about. That's what this sport is about. It doesn't have to be pretty. You don't have to have a quarterback who throws for 400 yards. You don't have to have a defense that is turning the ball over constantly. 3 and outs is what this defense is predicated on. Daniel Jones moves the football. He moves the chains, whether it's with his legs or with his arm. Saquon Barkley is the guy for this offense. And honestly, the New York Giants are playing winning football. Brian Daboll getting this team to 6-1 is no joke, and it's not by accident either. This is a team that is predicated on moving the football on offense and stopping opposing teams on defense. I love what I'm seeing from the G-men, and we need to continue to see it. They have a big task coming up this week. I think they are going to be up for the challenge.
Yeah, the Giants are a really impressive team with what they've been able to do so far, and they continue to be impressive. I really don't know any game that they can't win, because every game that we count them out, they seem to pull through. So really, the sky's the limit for what this team is truly capable of doing.
Yeah, if I told you earlier before the season started that Geno Smith and Daniel Jones were going to be 2 of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, you would have hit me upside the head and told me to never talk about football again, but here we are. So I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below, which teams do we have too high and which teams do we have too low? All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.